Hi, you guys. It's Tamika Chambers. I hope all is going well with you and yours. Hey, I just wanted to pop in today. There was something that came across me, and I know this month, April of 2022, is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And of course, I am a big fan of child abuse prevention. I myself had gone through a potentially traumatic experience. You know, not only did I not have my father in my life, I was raised by a single mother, which I actually consider one of the most beneficial treasures in my life because my mother shared many of her life principles with us. Just errors that she made and the humility in sharing those with us. And so by it being Child Abuse Prevention Month, every life has purpose, right? Even children, they are here for reasons. And it's up, and I've shared in one of my other videos, as a parent, my role is to help these spirits through their earthly journey by one, making sure their internal and external environment supports their expression of their purpose, right? To nourish their purpose, to embody it, to own it, and to express it. Number two, making sure they have a relationship with not only themselves, but with their family, home family, and with a higher power. And I already said it. Number three is fulfilling their purpose. And so children are here for reasons. They are not for a disheartened heart. They are not to be battered. They are not to be take out our pain, project our pain on them. They are not for us to live out our dreams that we weren't successful at living out. That children come here with their own curriculum, right? Their own life purpose, their own way of expressing, being a physical representation of the truth by expressing their gifts and their talents and intertwining with their experiences to express love. That is our purpose. Our purpose is to express love. And we have our gifts, we have our talents, and we intertwine those with our experiences to be who God, I say God, infinite power, infinite intelligence. It's not about what you call it, wants us to be. And so I've just this time in my life, I believe, recircled back to home and reclaiming my purpose. And one of the things I've been doing is writing. And as I share in my memoir, those truths that led me to recircling back home, to becoming the person that I believe God created me to be, to fulfilling my purpose, to taking detours in my life. One of the things that I start with is that anything that we have gone through, in the very first chapter, it's about accepting and acknowledging your truth. There's no way you can get past the experiences if you do not accept what happened. So I know that April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And I'm, like I said, all for preventing children, actually protecting children, because we want to think about the positive. But I'm also too geared towards how can we help those that have already gone through misuse of their body, abusive situations. And the first thing as an adult is to acknowledge and accept what happened. I believe when we live in denial, when we stuff those feelings down, that's when we have what the world calls or labels depression, when we have anxiety, when we have insomnia, when we have heart disease, cancer. When we do not express our emotions, when we do not acknowledge those things that happen to us, when we do not give that pain back to that person, when we internalize those experiences as hate, when we have these emotions, anger, confusion, betrayal, resentment, all of that gets programmed into our DNA. It gets programmed into our body. It gets programmed into our body. Because I still believe that we can change, if you will, that programming through first acknowledging what happened, acknowledging that it did happen, that someone projected their pain on you. You didn't cause it. They projected their pain on you. And you were the child, the right child, who trusted someone, right? Who had joy, who was curious, Those are innate qualities that make us children, that have joy and excitement. And someone misused that to heal their wounds, not knowing that the proper way to heal a wound is not by projecting your pain on others, by taking responsibility, right? And by giving taking responsibilities of your emotions, but giving that act back to that person. So when we acknowledge our truth, we give that pain back to who it belongs to. We acknowledge our emotions, anger. Yes, you're angry. Yes, you might be resentful, shameful. Yes, those are all emotions. But do you need to continue to live with those emotions that they go inside you and deeply root inside of your fertile ground, right? As a child. The other thing is dispelling myths. You know, what are those things that kept you silent? For me, that children should be seen, not heard. For me, that you respect your elders. They know what's better for you. And so the truth is always the truth. If you are in doubt, if you feel like someone is misusing you, is telling you the wrong thing to do, and we have those internal barometers inside of us. We know the truth inside of us, that you will trust that truth, right? That you will trust it and you will speak your voice. And as I've said, as a child, one of the greatest things we can do for children is for them to honor their voice, to recognize that they do have a voice, that if something doesn't feel right, look right, see right, smell right, that they are to voice their concerns. And as parents, we need to be open to that, you know, for us, we don't need to be in denial. We need to be open that if I see something going on with my child, I'm going to address it. If uncles and aunts, grandmothers, grandparents, if you see something going on, ask the question. Because sometimes the child is just waiting to express themselves, but they're afraid of expressing themselves. And so this is coming from someone who has been there, done that, but who decided to move forward. And I'm sharing with you today, one of the things that I did is that I never took myself out of the situation, that I accepted what was going on, right? But I still held on to that secret. But it did come a time where I had to let go. I had to accept it. It happened. I can't take it back. There's nothing I can do other than learn from the situation, what I need to learn about myself, because I can't change. My mom would tell us, you can't change grown folks. You can't change them, but you can change yourself. You can undo that programming, right? You can stop yourself and say, no, I'm not dirty. I'm not afraid of man. And those thoughts came to me. And I remember being in the garden, in my mother's garden at our home, and didn't know that was a mini sanctuary. But it was for me to dispel a lot of thoughts. One of them being, you're afraid of men now. And it was almost like my mind went through warp speed and said, no, came back and said, no, I can't do that. I can't live like that. I will not be afraid of man. That there is more to my life than my abuse. There is more to what I see. There's something out there greater than me that loves me. And that's who I wanted to connect with as a child. Because there is a truth in this world that keeps everything in alignment, keeps the ocean separate from the mountains, to keep the planets revolving around the sun. And that's what we need to trust in, this higher spirit. That there's something out there that loves us, that our life has meaning, has purpose, regardless of what we have gone through, what we have experienced, that our life still has meaning and purpose. You are here for reasons. You're not a mistake. And no child is ever responsible for an adult's behavior. No child, no matter how many ways you twist it, you're never responsible for what someone did to you. That is their choice. That is how they chose to deal with their pain. Now you get a chance in how to choose to deal with your pain. And I highly recommend, encourage you to accept and acknowledge your truth so you can face your emotions and face your feelings. So until next time, find out more about my story on TamikaSChambers.com. I look forward to doing another video on chapter 2 in my memoir, Part Ways. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.